Hello guys, welcome to the video. In this one, I'm going to be teaching you how to use the Webflow editor. So if you're a business owner and you recently got your website handed over by an agency or a web designer or developer, and it was built on Webflow, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can edit your site using the editor. So this is basically the access that you're going to be given when you're handed over your Webflow site. Okay, so first off, how do you access the editor? So the editor can be accessed from this from your URL here. So let's say, for example, your website, this is your website URL. All you have to do is just add in / edit equals to 1. Okay, so once you add this to your site, you're going to be prompted to log in. Okay, so I'm already logged in. That's why you're seeing everything. I have access to the editor right now. So once you just add in this parameter on in front of your website URL, you're going to be prompted to log in. Once you log in, you're going to get access to this. So I'm going to start explaining how the editor works. First off, I want you to notice that every single part of your site is editable with the editor. Okay, by what I mean editable, I mean like you can change content. So the editor is mostly used for changing text and images or videos. Okay, so you can't really use it to do things like change color. Okay, but you can use it to style text and change images and a couple of other things here. So let's start up by going through this entire hero section. So as you can see here, this is an image. If you want to change this image, all you have to do is just click on this icon here, and you're going to be able to select another image from your computer. So I'm just going to change this now so you can see how this works. All right, so this has been added. As you can see, there are multiple images here. So once you change the first image, you're going to get access to change this next one and next one. So if this was a static image, for example, you would not get this arrow keys here. Okay, so this you're seeing here is only for when you have like a slider. Okay, so next thing here, let's change this to my name. So all I just did was just click on it and the cursor got over there. So I'm going to change this to Emmanuel Asika. Okay, so now I'm going to show you some other things you can do here. So you can actually bold text if you want. You can italize, you can superscript and subscript if you want, and you can also link this to another website or a page in your website. Okay, so I click on this link, I can just add in a URL and it's going to get select that. And if you want the link to open in a new tab, like you don't want it to override whatever you have here, just click on this settings knob and check this and go back. Okay, so that's basically what you can do with this. You can also wrap this in a span, but this is not really useful. And you can also clear formatting. Let's say you made some changes and you want to revert it, just click on clear formatting. Okay, so the same thing with this as well. You can change this to anything you want. Okay, I tapped Ctrl Z, so that's why I got everything back. So all the normal shortcuts you're used to on Windows or on Linux, it works here as well. Just press Ctrl Z and it's gonna revert back. Okay, the next, let's see the button. So if you click on this, it's actually going to take you to the page that this links to. Okay, so let's just skip that as well. Okay, you can also edit this text as well. So that's basically how that works. If you want to edit a button, so I think this button, this specific button here, okay, the knob is showing now. So if you click on this, you can change the text, you can change the link. So if you want this linked somewhere else, and you can also change the background image. So if I click on change text, I get access now to add more text and also get the same formatting bar for this as well. Okay, Let's see what else is here. You can edit the link just like for like when you were linking this text here. So you have access to choosing any of your pages if you want. If you don't want to use the page, just click on this and you can change the link to a normal link. Okay, so let's just go through that one more time. Okay, click on this, edit link. So if you don't want to select a page on your site, you want it to link externally, just click on this icon and click on this, and you should be able to change this to an external website. You can also add a section if you want, or link it to an email, or link it to a phone number. So if you select this section, it means like you could link it to this section here. So whenever someone clicks on this, it's gonna just scroll down to this section. Okay, so that's basically everything. I'm gonna show you one more aspect that I think you need to know. So one thing you need to know about Webflow editor is whenever you highlight a text or an image and you notice that it's just grayed out, it means that this is something that is static, which means it's not in your database. It's just something that is on this page that once you change it here, it does not affect anything else. Okay, but whenever you get this purple outline and this one in here, you know that this is dynamic content. Okay, so what this means is this is being pulled from your collections. So your collection is just more like a database where you store text. So this specific section here, this specific text, both of them, they're being used in other parts of your site. Okay, so if you change them here, you're changing it everywhere. So if you read the purple bar, you see the content of this element is synced between multiple elements. So yeah, so just know whenever you change this, it's going to affect every other page that you have this on. Okay, so that's basically everything for editing content on the pages. There's nothing else here. So let's move on to the next parts here, which is these different tabs here. So these are the most important aspects of the editor. I just needed to explain this very well so you know how to edit text and change images. So if I'm going to click on pages, and it's going to open up properly here. So this is the page tab. So as you can see, there are different tabs here. We have pages, we have orders, e-commerce, and collections. So depending on the kind of website you have, this is going to be different. So obviously, if this was not on the e-commerce plan, you're not going to get e-commerce and orders. You're just going to get pages and collections. Okay, so I'm going to explain the pages tab first, because this is the most important parts of your website in terms of editing your website with the editor. So basically, this first part here is where all your static pages are. A static page is a page that was created intentionally by your web designer. Okay, so it's not a page that is generated. So apart from this here, any other page you're seeing here is being generated automatically. What that means is your web developer created a template, okay, and that template is being used for all the collections that apply to it. So for example, if I click on this product page here, I'm just going to use this as an example so you understand what I'm saying. You're going to notice that this is dynamic. Okay, this is dynamic, this is dynamic. So basically everything here is dynamic for this specific product page. So what happened was your web developer or your web designer on Webflow, he created a template, just one template for this, and he looped through all the products or all the collections for that applied to this. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to pages so you get what I mean. So right now you have 4 different products here, and they're all using one template file. So to prove this, I'm going to go to e-commerce, and I know it's a bit complicated, but I have to explain it like this. We'll go to products, and if you notice, we have 4 products. These are the pages you just saw. So what your developer did is, like, he created one page, okay, one static page, for example, and then he made it dynamic. So each of these different products, you're seeing here are just going to like be replaced each time they are loaded for that page. So that's why you have 4 of these here. Okay, so these are not static pages like your home page. So these are generated automatically by Webflow for the collections. That's the product collections here. They also have categories page, the same thing as well. If you go to collections, you're going to see blog categories, and as you can see over here we have 2 different categories. That's where this is coming from as well. Okay, so the same thing with everything here. Everything is being pulled from collections or from products. Okay, so that's how these other ones work. So if you're editing your site, let's say you're done with the home page, if you wanted to move to the About Us page, this is where you would come. So if I click on About Us, it's going to take us to the About Us page, and I can edit everything here as well, just like I explained in the first part. Let's see. You can also edit your workout, your contact us. All these different pages are editable the same way, just like the home page. Okay, so let's see the product pages. So if I click on this product page here, or going back again, so notice you can edit your products from here if you want. So I could change the word here, and it's definitely going to work. Okay, let me just change that. So it's definitely going to be updated, but I don't advise doing this. Advice, whenever you're changing anything that has to do with your collections, with static dynamic content, make sure you're doing it from the collections page here. Okay, collection or product page. So like I said, these are product pages, so you're obviously going to go over to products to edit them. So you're forced to edit this now. The correct way would be to go to e-commerce, click on products, and edit them from here. Okay, so if I click on this, I can edit everything related to this. Okay, but if you're editing it from the page itself, you're not going to get everything. You're just going to get the things that were used on the front end. Okay, so I can change the category if I want from here, the billing, the shipping, the add variants and all that. Okay, so I advise whenever you're changing any dynamic content, always come to collections or products and find them here. Okay, don't edit them from via the pages section. It's not really ideal, and you're not really going to get the entire picture. So you might end up changing the title here, but the URL is going to still remain the same. It's going to remain it's going to be the old URL. Like, let's say you change this from sculpt body to ice cream, for example. The URL to this is still going to be sculpt body because you did not edit that from the collections page. Okay, so moving on, the next thing here you need to understand is how to set up the metadata and SEO for each of these pages. So in order to do this, once you hover over a page, whether it's a static page or a dynamic page, you're going to get this settings button at this point here. Just click on it, and you're going to get these 4 different tabs. The first one is access control, second one is SEO settings, open graph settings, and site search settings. I'm going to explain everything now. So the first one, access control, as it says, it's for restricting access. So if you don't want everybody to be able to access the home page, for example, you can limit it to the password, or you could specify specific numbers. So this is an example site, so obviously it's not under a site plan, a paid site plan. I'm just doing this for demonstration purpose. But if you wanted to restrict this home page now with a password, you could do it with this, or you could specify email addresses that can access this page alone. Okay, the next most important setting here is settings. So under setting, this is actually the SEO part of Webflow for each page. So if you're used to using something like Yoast on WordPress or Rank Maths, this is essentially the same thing. You can change the title of the page for SEO. You can add a meta description with your keyword for the page. Okay, so that's just what this is for. It's for adding meta descriptions like title and yeah, just for Google to understand the page better. Okay, so the next part here is open graph settings. Now this is for social media. Whenever you copy the link of this specific homepage and paste it to Facebook or Twitter, this is where they're going to pull the data from. Okay, so if you uncheck this, for example, you can specify a different title for social media. So you could type in something entirely different, but if you leave this checked in, it's going to use the same SEO title that you specify at the top. Okay, same thing with meta description. You could add your own custom meta description. If you don't add that, it's going to use the default one that you added on under the SEO part. And then for this image you're seeing here, all you have to do is add a URL to another image, and it's going to be replaced over there. Okay, so last tab here is site search settings. Okay, this is more complex. If you don't want this site to be ranked, like to be available on Google, so if somebody searches on Google, you don't want this to be available there, just click on this, so it's not going to be added to Google at all. Okay, so these are also other SEO related settings. It's best to just leave these as they are. Okay, so let's go back. So the same thing would apply to any of these other pages you're seeing here. Okay, one more thing I wanted to explain is folder. So this is more of like a folder. You can't really do anything to folders. They're just there to kind of act like for structure. Okay, so if you had something like services and you wanted to have services under this, like service 1, service 2, this is what a folder will be for. So you don't really have any, you can't really edit this. It's not really your business. It's more of an SEO structure thing. Okay. Okay, so let's see settings for this as well. So as you can see, it's also the same here, but there's also an additional setting here, but this is not really important. This is just if you want to add enable RSS. So this is not really important. So let's move on to the next most important part. Let's see. Okay, let's go over to collections. Okay, I already explained collections a bit. When I was explaining pages, but let's just go through it one more time. So these are all the collections on your site. Remember, I mentioned that there's some dynamic content on your site that is being pulled by Webflow. So this is where they live. So your authors, your blog categories, your blog posts, your free plans. Okay, so depending on the kind of website you have, these are going to look different. So if, for example, if you had services, you're going to have services as one of your collections here, and inside there you can change your services and add new services. So it depends on the kind of site you have. So this is more of a fitness site. So the first collection here is free plans. Okay, so I think I clicked twice. So under free plans we have 3 plans already here. So everything here is going to be set up by your Webflow developer. Okay, so you're not really setting this up, you're just going to see all this. So at the top here, if you wanted to add a new plan, you click on this button and you want to add a new plan. You can export, you can select and multiple of these, and then let's say you wanted to delete them or update them. Okay, so Webflow has a bulk editor, so there's a lot of things you can do with this. But if you wanted to edit this individual one, all you have to do is just click and you can edit this easily. Okay, you can edit this easily. If you want to delete this, you scroll to the bottom, you're going to see the delete button here. If you want to duplicate this and then create something new from all this information, this is where you'd click. And if you wanted to archive this, this is what you would click. So it's really straightforward, and the fields you see here will depend on the kind of collection item. Okay, so one thing you should know is you can't create new collections because your collections are created by your Webflow developer. Okay, but you can edit them and you can change the contents there, because that's what the editor is for changing content. So that's what the editor is for. Let's see. So you noticed these being popped up. So if you open one of these, it's going to open in a new tab, so you can easily access that, but you can close that as well. But by default, you just have this 4 here. Or if you don't have e-commerce, you're not going to get 4, you're going to get pages and collection, which is 2. So under e-commerce, for if you have an e-commerce site, if you click on products, it's just the same as collections, but it's just being added under e-commerce. So it's the same thing, new products, you can delete, archive and duplicate if you want. So I'm not really going to go in depth into e-commerce on this video. I'm going to create another video for that, but I just wanted to show you how possible it is. So categories, orders, and discounts, you can treat products and categories as collections because that's what they are, but they're just being placed under e-commerce. Okay, so yeah, same thing with orders and discounts. They have their use cases, so we're not really going to go in depth into that in this video. So that's basically everything under the editor, the tabs here. So if I click on this settings icon, you're going to get 2 tabs here if you have e-commerce installed. But under accounts, you can change your profile image. Okay, if you want, you can change your name, and you can change password. So that's just what that's for. This part is for if you wanted to know what something meant. Let's say, for example, if you want to know what draft is, or staged, or published, or basically any of the terminologies being used on Webflow, you can get to know from here. So another thing I wanted you to learn is whenever you make a change on the site, it's not going to be published automatically. You're just going to see the changes that you made here. So we have 5 on published changes. If I click on this, you're going to see the things we did. We placed an image, edited text, and so these are all the things we did. So you can always keep track of any of the changes that you've made. And once you're sure and you're happy with everything that you've done, just click on publish, and it's going to push this to the live website. Okay, so I'm just going to wait a while, and yeah, it's done. So if I click back to the live site, you're going to see that everything has been changed. So this is the product page that we were at before. So that's basically everything about the Webflow editor for clients. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below, and if you need someone to help you edit your content on your site, maybe you want to hire someone to do it, I'm also available for that as a service. Just check the description and you get my email over there so you can contact me. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.